I've been waiting at the French restaurant for Justin Caldwell 3 hours, but he still hasn't shown up. I've lost count of how many calls and text messages I've sent him, but he hasn't responded at all, considering the nature of his profession. I barely managed to suppress my anger and finished the candlelit dinner alone. After the meal, I idly scrolled through short videos and accidentally came across a live stream. A man in a black suit is kneeling inside a large red heart made of roses, holding up a ring to propose to a beautiful woman in a white dress, with tears in her eyes and a touched smile. The woman put on the ring amid cheers from the crowd. The two then embraced and shared a deep kiss. I couldn't see the man's face clearly, but his silhouette felt strangely familiar, very much like my boyfriend Justin. I was about to take a closer look, but the live stream suddenly cut off. I had no choice but to keep this question in my heart. It was already 3 a.m. Justin still hadn't arrived, and those text messages and calls remained unanswered. It seems he's already forgotten that we were supposed to spend tonight together. Watching all the couples around me, I returned home alone, filled with anger. It wasn't until noon the next day that Justin finally returned to the apartment. The moment he saw me, he immediately came forward and held me tightly. "I'm sorry, darling. I stood you up last night. There were just too many things at the hospital, and I had no choice but to stay and work overtime." "Let go." I struggled to break free from his embrace, still filled with anger. Justin knew I was angry and held me even tighter, refusing to let go, while shoving a gift box into my hands. "Darling, this is my New Year's gift for you," he softly explained. "This time was really special. I worked all night before stopping. Will you forgive me? I really love you so much." His tone couldn't hide the exhaustion. Looking at the dark circles under his eyes and his pale complexion, I fell silent. Justin, seeing I wasn't continuing my anger, quickly opened the gift box and placed the platinum necklace around my neck. "That necklace really suits you. It looks beautiful on you. Honey, I'm sorry I stood you up this time. When I have time off next, I'll make it up to you with an even better date, okay?" His gaze was sincere and earnest, and I couldn't help but soften. "Just this once. If it happens again, we're breaking up, okay?" Justin hastily promised. No, there definitely won't be a next time." After clearing the air, we returned to our usual way of interacting. Justin yawned and went back to his room to catch up on sleep. Seizing the opportunity, I quickly sneaked online to check the price of this necklace, planning to give him a gift of equal value in return. To my surprise, this necklace wasn't sold separately. It was actually a free gift that came with a pair of diamond rings. Those rings were worth hundreds of thousands, while this necklace wasn't even a fraction of their value. A sudden flashback to the live stream I'd accidentally seen last night crossed my mind, and an uneasy premonition began to surface. I went to the bathroom and searched through Justin's discarded clothes, but found nothing. Then I walked back into the room. Justin was fast asleep, his handsome and outstanding face completely unguarded. I quietly took his phone, unlocked it, and checked. There was nothing inside, so clean that I began to doubt whether I had been overthinking, but I knew I wasn't. The whereabouts of those rings remained a mystery. Chapter 2. Justin woke up and said he had to go to work again. With a troubled expression, he said, "The hospital has been extremely busy these days, and we're short-staffed. I really can't get away. Please understand." "Sweetheart," I didn't say anything, watching through the window as he drove away. Then I also hailed a taxi and followed him. Justin stopped in front of a hotel, and soon after, a strikingly beautiful, tall woman walked out. She was the same woman I saw during last night's livestream. Justin stepped forward to embrace her, and the two began talking intimately before sharing a kiss. Something on his finger was glinting in the sunlight, shining so brightly it almost hurt my eyes. I knew it was one of the diamond rings. Turns out, afraid I'd find out, he hadn't brought the ring home but hid it in the car instead. I felt as if I'd plunged into an abyss. At this very moment, no matter how unwilling I am to believe it, Justin betraying me is already an indisputable fact. I watched as he considerately welcomed that woman into the car, then drove all the way, finally stopping in front of that French restaurant. The two of them got out of the car together, hand in hand, and walked inside. Watching their words and actions, no one would doubt they were a sweet couple. I covered my mouth to stifle my sobs. Just on our anniversary, he had promised to love me forever, and we agreed to get married by the next one. But everything has changed. 5 whole years of love turned into a ridiculous joke in an instant. I seem to have lost all my strength, my whole body in a daze, not knowing how I made it back home. I lay on the sofa wailing, letting all the sorrow and pain pour out, because I knew Justin wouldn't be coming back tonight. It wasn't until much later that I managed to break free from that state of agony. These questions have been lingering in my mind. Justin, when exactly did he cheat? How did they meet? How long have they been together? I opened the short video app and searched for the keyword local marriage proposal. And surprisingly, I found that woman's account right away. Their video was ranked first, with extremely high popularity, and the comment section was filled with blessings from netizens. Netizens wished them a long-lasting relationship, early arrival of a precious child, and a harmonious union for 100 years. As I watched, everything before my eyes gradually blurred, and I couldn't help but shed tears again. In the video, the man still didn't show his full face. But I knew without a doubt that it was Justin. From the caption of this video, I've pretty much figured out the nature of their relationship. Although we missed each other out of helplessness back then, we made a promise: if after 6 years of separation, both of us remained unmarried, we would get back together. In the end, after all the twists and turns, it's still you. First love happiness. I couldn't help but laugh in frustration. Indeed, Justin was only in a relationship. He was indeed still unmarried. I wiped away my tears, not wanting to feel sad anymore. I wanted to end all this pain. I sent Justin a message: "Didn't you say you'd make it up to me with another date? Let's still meet at that French restaurant, and set the time for tomorrow night. You must be there this time, or else we're breaking up." After sending the message, I started packing my luggage, taking what should be taken, throwing away what should be discarded. For example, that couple's necklace. I threw it straight into the trash. Then I took a bus and left this place overnight. Chapter 3. By the time I returned to my parents' house, it was already the next day. Justin replied to me, agreeing to the date. I ignored him. The thought of him heading to a date where no one would show up filled me with both satisfaction and sorrow. Sorrow for the 5 years of my youth that had been wasted. I put on my makeup and changed my clothes, heading to a nearby bar with the intention of drinking myself into oblivion, drowning all my real-life troubles in alcohol, accompanied by friends. I lost count of how much I drank, only remembering that in the end, someone carried me home. I faintly heard my mom complain, "This child has gone mad. Drinking so much, really troubling you, Trevor." The next day, I woke up with a splitting headache. As soon as I turned on my phone, a flood of messages and calls popped up, filling the screen. The latest message was sent at 4 in the morning. "Where are you? I've been waiting for you all night. Why haven't you shown up? And why are all your things gone from the house?" I let out a cold laugh, sent him the secretly taken photos and the proposal video, along with a string of curses, then blocked all his contact information. After doing all this, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. I just can't help feeling a little sad in my heart. I slumped at home in complete lethargy, not wanting to do anything, slowly digesting the throes of the breakup, until one day when someone knocked on my window. "Danielle Abbott, come out and play." This familiar voice instantly reminded me of Trevor, my childhood sweetheart who grew up with me. As soon as I opened the window, that handsome and refined face was fully revealed. It was indeed him. He looked at me with a smile and asked, "You've been back for so long. Why haven't I seen you go out?" "I don't feel like going out," I replied weakly. He suddenly took a few steps closer to me, staring at my face and asking, "What's wrong with you?" I knew he was referring to my still swollen eyes from crying too much. "Nothing, just a breakup," I pretended to say nonchalantly. His eyes curved into a smile as he looked at me cheerfully. "If it's a breakup, just move on to the next one." "Yeah, I know." I didn't want to talk about this anymore and was about to go back to bed when I suddenly heard him speak behind me. For example, "What do you think of me?" I almost doubted my hearing. After the initial shock, I turned around and glared at him. "What kind of joke is this?" Trevor stood up straight, with a serious and earnest expression, saying solemnly, "I'm not joking, I mean it. What do you think of me? Would you consider giving me a chance?" I was completely bewildered by this situation and stammered slightly, "But, I just broke up, you don't mind, Span." He shook his head and said with a smile, "I don't mind, Span." Then he added casually, as if it were nothing, "I've liked you for many years, Span." I couldn't make a decision right away, and silence stretched between us. In the end, I didn't agree because I simply didn't have the energy to start a new relationship, but Trevor came to see me every day. Sometimes with a bouquet of flowers, sometimes with pastries we used to eat as kids, and sometimes he'd bring his little dog over to play and cheer me up. Unknowingly, I gradually let my guard down around him. "Danielle, would you like to go for a walk together?" When he asked me again, I didn't refuse this time but nodded in agreement. His eyes curved happily with a smile that was pure and gentle. Chapter 4. We walked along the path in the park. Trevor Ross gently took my hand. I tacitly accepted his gesture. "Danielle." At that very moment, a furious and familiar voice suddenly rang out. I turned around and sure enough, I saw Justin standing not far away. I never expected him to actually track me down at my home. He stormed over angrily, raising his fist as if to strike Trevor. I immediately stepped in front of Trevor and demanded, "What do you think you're doing?" Justin looked absolutely furious, grinding his teeth as he said, "What do you think I'm doing? I'm going to beat up this adulterer." Of course, the moment I saw him, I felt irritated, and his questioning only made me find it laughable. "Justin, how dare you even question me? If I hadn't found out early, I might have almost become the other woman in someone else's marriage." Justin was instantly left speechless. He stammered, Let me explain." I felt he looked like a clown at that moment and said impatiently, "Explain my ass. Get out, I don't want to see you again." Justin was trembling with anger. He pointed at Trevor and said, "If I have to leave, he has to go too." I immediately tightened my grip on Trevor's hand. "Do you even get it? You're the one who should leave. He's my boyfriend now," Justin shouted angrily. "I never agreed to break up." I gave a cold laugh and looked at him mockingly. "You're already planning to get married, yet you still don't agree to break up. What, do you want to have your cake and eat it too?" Justin fell silent instantly. Unable to speak, I glanced at him and said coldly, "Please don't appear in front of me again in the future. The sight of you disgusts me." Justin finally began to face the problem squarely. He lowered his eyes, his voice somewhat suppressed. "I know I was wrong. I never intended to marry her. Only after you left me did I realize I can't live without you. It turns out what I felt for her wasn't love, just pure greed." He raised his head to look at me, his gaze mixed with apology and plea. "Danielle, I shouldn't have wronged you. Can you give me another chance?" "Of course not." My attitude was resolute as I rolled my eyes at him. "You scum don't deserve it." Justin stared at me fixedly without uttering a word. I couldn't be bothered to glance at him again, grabbing Trevor's hand as I tried to leave, yet he blocked our path, unwilling to let us go. His gaze was fixed on our intertwined hands, mine and Trevor's, as if trying to bore a hole through them. Trevor seemed unable to hold back any longer. He let go of my hand and was about to charge at Justin. My heart skipped a beat. To prevent a fight, I quickly blocked Trevor, then stepped forward and gave Justin a hard shove. "Get out of my way. Even a good dog knows not to block the path. I'm not leaving." Justin seemed to be red-eyed with anger. "Danielle, I'll say it again. I didn't agree to break up. Who cares whether you agree or not?" I gave him an annoyed look, then took Trevor and left. This time, Justin didn't stop us. He stood there dejectedly, looking utterly heartbroken. But I couldn't care less. Chapter 5. The next day, Justin actually showed up at my house carrying bags of gifts. I grabbed a broom and tried to chase him out. My mom, not understanding the situation, immediately stopped me. "What's going on? Why did you suddenly hit him?" "Mom, he's just a scumbag." Justin cut me off abruptly, and with a thud, he knelt directly on the ground. "Auntie, I was blinded before and did something wrong to Danielle. I'm here now to apologize to Danielle, and I beg for your forgiveness." After speaking, he kowtowed 3 times with a loud thud. My mother wondered aloud, what grave mistake did he make to warrant kneeling and kowtowing? "Young man, get up first and then we'll talk." Justin glanced at me. "Auntie, Danielle won't forgive me, so I won't get up." I let out a cold laugh, to avoid Justin. I pulled my mom into the kitchen and explained the whole situation to her. After hearing it, it was my mom's turn to chase him out with a big broom. With an indignant and furious expression, she waved the broom, shouting, "Get out, get out, get out of here. You're not welcome in our house, auntie." Justin tried to argue further, but he was left in a miserable and uncomfortable state by my mom's big broom. He had no choice but to dodge while forcing a smile. "Auntie, I really know I was wrong. I hope you can give me another chance." Seeing that he still refused to give up and wouldn't leave no matter how hard she tried to shoo him away, insisting on staying in our house, my mom directly swung the broom at his face. At this point, Justin could no longer stay and had to get up and walk out the door. My mom threw all those gifts out and immediately locked the front door. Standing on tiptoe to peek over the wall, I saw Justin actually kneeling right outside our front gate. This time I was genuinely furious with him. With all the commotion our family was making, the neighbors had long since noticed. Many uncles and aunties poked their heads out to see what was happening. Spotting such a grown young man kneeling at my doorstep, they quickly started gossiping and approached Justin to strike up a conversation. Before long, they had all gotten a clear understanding of the situation. Several of them called out toward my house. "This young man truly knows he was wrong. He's come to apologize so sincerely. Just forgive him already. He looks so pitiful in this freezing winter. Why don't we let him come inside to warm up first?" Danielle's mom, "He promised he'll never do it again. If there's a next time, you can deal with him however you want." I pretended not to hear any of these words. I immediately dialed the police. Before long, the police arrived. Justin, who had stubbornly refused to get up earlier, had no choice but to stand when he saw the officers arrive. However, before getting into the police car, he turned back to glance at me, his eyes filled with resentment. Chapter 6. Trevor arrived at my house when everything was already over. He said to me seriously, "If this happens again, be sure to call me as soon as possible." I nodded to show I understood. Trevor, after he left, my mom immediately grabbed me. Under her relentless questioning, I could no longer hide the truth about Trevor and me. I had no choice but to come clean about everything. After hearing me out, my mom nodded approvingly and said, "Trevor seems like a great guy. You're both not getting any younger. Why not get engaged first and then think about marriage?" I was startled by the suggestion, but it didn't sound like a bad idea, because at least for now, I am willing to marry Trevor. After discussing with Trevor, he happily agreed to the engagement. Since it was just an engagement banquet, we simply set up a few tables for the celebration, not particularly grand. On the day of the engagement, we both wore festive red attire, and under the blessings of family and friends, everyone raised their glasses together in celebration. With a bang, the gate in the courtyard was suddenly and violently forced open. Justin burst in, his eyes bloodshot. Shoving and overturning everything that stood in his way, he charged straight toward us, his actions frenzied and violent, as if intent on smashing everything to pieces, my family and friends. Having long heard of his notorious reputation, quickly stepped forward to block him. Despite the attempts of several people to stop him, Justin was finally subdued. I quickly called the police, thinking of the sadness from being betrayed, the pain after the breakup, and now the endless harassment. I could no longer contain the anger in my heart and stepped forward to slap him hard. Justin was struck so hard that his head snapped to the side. He seemed completely dazed, staring at me in stunned silence. A moment later, a glimmer of tears welled up in his eyes, his tone laced with a hint of grievance. "You hit me." I looked at him expressionlessly and enunciated each word clearly. "That's exactly who I was hitting. You lunatic." Hearing this, he hastily lowered his head in a somewhat flustered manner, as if trying to hide his tears. Not long after, the police came again. Facing the police's interrogation, he confessed everything truthfully, his whole demeanor as if his heart had turned to ashes, and obediently followed the police. He didn't look back at me even once. I breathed a sigh of relief, thinking that this time he should completely exit my life for good. Chapter 7. Without Justin's interference, Trevor and I had a sweet vacation together. After the vacation, I was ready to start job hunting again, putting an end to my idle days after going through multiple rounds of interviews. I rejoined a listed company and started a 9-to-5 routine. Unfortunately, one day, my peace was disrupted again. A large number of gifts suddenly appeared on my desk: flowers, designer bags, and all kinds of jewelry. I messaged to ask Trevor if he had sent them, but he denied it in an instant. I knew who had done this. After work, I packed all the gifts into a large trash bag, intending to throw them away. As soon as I reached the company's entrance, I saw Justin's annoying face. He looked meticulously groomed, dressed neatly and formally, with his hair slicked back, revealing his flawless and superior features. He walked towards me with a faint smile on his face, as if nothing had ever happened between us. Justin spoke softly, a smile playing at the corners of his lips. "Darling, you must be tired after a day's work. I've already reserved a private room at the restaurant. Let's go eat now." I looked at him in confusion and asked strangely, "Justin, have you lost your mind?" Justin responded with a hurt expression. "Darling, why would you say that to me? Have I done something wrong?" I'm too lazy to deal with him anymore and snapped impatiently. "What do you actually want? Why don't you go find your first love instead of bothering me all the time?" Justin blinked his eyes, looking pitiful and somewhat aggrieved as he said, "What are you talking about? What first love? You're the only one I've ever been in a relationship with." "Stop playing dumb." I scrutinized him impatiently. With innocent eyes, he said, "You are my first love. Danielle Lathier's no other woman. This is insane." I carefully observed Justin's expression and confirmed that he wasn't pretending to be crazy. He genuinely believed it. I couldn't help but feel shocked. It seems Justin really has lost his mind. What on earth happened to him? I pondered for a brief moment, then couldn't be bothered to think about it any further. His current state was too bizarre. I just wanted to quickly settle things and cut ties with him. I shoved the large bag of gifts into his hands and casually said, "I have things to do. I'll take my leave first." After speaking, I turned to leave, but Justin suddenly grabbed my hand. "Don't go." I turned my head and glared at him. "Let go." Justin pressed his lips tightly together. Looking extremely stubborn and obstinate, I felt extremely irritated and didn't want to continue pulling and entangled with him anymore. Beep beep beep. His phone suddenly started ringing incessantly, but Justin seemed to have no intention of answering it at all, instead letting the phone keep vibrating. At that moment, suddenly a few distant calls were heard. "Son, son." I turned my head and saw a middle-aged couple hurrying toward us. Their features faintly resembled those of Justin. The woman walked up to Justin, grabbed his arm, and said, "Son, it seems you forgot to take your medicine again today. Come on, let's go home with Mom." "I won't go." Justin resisted vehemently. The uncle frowned and scolded, "You're seriously ill. Come back with us now." While they were struggling with Justin, I quickly yanked my hand free, then turned and strode away. "Don't go." A slightly desperate voice came from behind. "Danielle, I beg you, don't go." Justin seemed to snap awake, startled by my actions. Then came the sound of hurried footsteps, and someone tugged at the hem of my clothes. Turning around, I saw Caldwell's mother's face. Her aged face was etched with worry and a pleading expression. "You must be Danielle, right? Ever since our Justin came back from your place last time, he's gone mad. Can you save him? I'm begging you." As his mother, I didn't soften my heart at all and directly refused. "If you need medical treatment, please go to the hospital. Don't come to me. I'm not a doctor." Caldwell's mother instantly pleaded urgently. "You can have anything you want. Money, a house, a car, as long as you agree. Auntie can give it all to you. Justin is just a huge trouble that's hard to shake off once you're involved." I shook my head and still didn't agree. His mother stared at me for a while, then suddenly burst into tears. "Auntie is really begging you. Please save him." After speaking, she bent her knees as if to kneel. They truly are mother and son, cut from the same cloth. I immediately supported her, preventing her from kneeling, but she still clung tightly to me, unwilling to let go. Justin, his father, stood not far away. Though he didn't speak, he kept watching us, clearly hoping I would agree to this matter. Just as I was racking my brains about how to shake off this family, Trevor arrived. Chapter 8. With an irresistible force, he pulled me away from the family and shielded me behind him. Trevor spoke in a calm and rational tone. "Uncle and Auntie, Danielle already has a new partner now. You really shouldn't disturb her life anymore. Besides, isn't it better to leave professional matters to professionals?" Hearing these words, they all fell into silence. Justin suddenly erupted in anger, stepping forward aggressively. "Get out of my way. What right do you have to decide Danielle's affairs?" Trevor responded with an amused expression. "I don't have the right, but do you?" Justin was so furious that his face turned slightly green. He suddenly swung his fist straight toward Trevor's face. Trevor quickly dodged, then countered by pinning his arms and slamming him hard onto the ground. It all happened too fast. By the time anyone realized what was going on, everything was already over. "Uncle, Auntie, Justin's mental state is so unstable that he might suddenly lash out and hurt someone at any moment." Trevor effortlessly restrained Justin and calmly addressed Caldwell's father and mother. "If you don't keep a better eye on him, I'll have no choice but to call the police again. This time, he might very well be forcibly committed to a psychiatric hospital for treatment. You wouldn't want that, would you, Caldwell?" Smother hastily promised. No, don't worry. I guarantee he won't come to harass you again." Caldwell's father sighed at the sight, then made a phone call. Before long, a black car pulled up by the roadside, and a team of bodyguards stepped out in unison. They dragged Justin up and escorted him into the car. Just before leaving, Justin still refused to give up, shouting, "Mom, I don't want to go. I want Danielle. I need her, mister." Caldwell stepped forward and slapped him hard, furious at his defiance, yelling, "Shut your mouth." Then Caldwell Sr. turned to us and assured, "We'll have bodyguards watch him around the clock, then take him abroad for treatment. He absolutely won't get another chance to come and disturb you." Trevor nodded. "I hope you'll keep your word, Caldwell Sr. and Mrs." Caldwell said nothing more, quickly following them into the car. The surroundings instantly quieted down. I let out a sigh of relief and looked at Trevor, unable to help saying, "Thank goodness you arrived in time. Otherwise I would have been driven crazy by that whole family." Trevor gazed at me tenderly, his eyes focused and full of affection. "So how are you going to reward me?" I took his hand and smiled. "Let's go on a date." Trevor squeezed my hand tightly and softly agreed. After that, Justin never bothered us again. On an auspicious day, Trevor and I got our marriage license, leaving the shadows of the past behind to embrace a peaceful and happy life together. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, so feel free to share your opinions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great stories. We'll see you in the next video.